Did you know that one of the most popular and favorite drinks of all time, Coke, is also the one with the darkest history? From racism to exploitation, Coca-Cola has been involved in some dirty business. Keep watching to find out more about the bloody history of Coca-Cola. But first, make sure you hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up while you're at it. John S. Pemberton, a pharmacist from Atlanta who lived from 1831 to 1888, created the Coca-Cola beverage in 1886 at his Pemberton Chemical Company. Frank Robinson, his bookkeeper, came up with the drink's name and gave it the flowing font that soon developed into the iconic Coca-Cola identity. Based on cocaine from the coca leaf and caffeine-rich extracts from the cola nut, Pemberton initially promoted his beverage as a cure for the majority of common ills. The cocaine was removed from the Coca-Cola formula around 1903. Pemberton supplied local soda fountains with his syrup, and with the help of advertising, the beverage saw incredible popularity. Asa Griggs Candler, an Atlanta pharmacist, acquired full control of the company by 1891 for a total monetary investment of $2,300 and the exchange of some proprietary rights. In the following year, he founded the Coca-Cola Company. In 1893, the Coca-Cola trademark was registered with the U.S. Patent Office. This is a basic overview of where the brand originated from. But did you know that Coca-Cola is full of controversial secrets that they hide from the public eye? Both Coke and Pepsi have faced a backlash for being racists in their marketing strategies. While this may sound absurd, here's the truth. Many people are aware of the rumors that Coca-Cola formerly contained cocaine, or that Pepsi was the cool drink in the 1960s. Few are aware that Pepsi recruited a Negro market section, while Coke actively targeted white consumers. Simply said, Coke was created for white people, and Pepsi for the black. Companies have grown their marketing divisions and undertaken several efforts to combat the notion that either appealed to a certain race over the decades, and during the industry's seemingly unstoppable rise. In a published article, Elizabeth Hale wrote, "Coke's recipe wasn't the only thing influenced by white supremacy. Through the 1920s and 30s, it studiously ignored the African American market. Promotional material appeared in segregated locations that served both races, but rarely in those that catered to African Americans alone." Apart from being a racist brand, Coke has been active in exploiting the resources of urban and third world countries. While the exact ingredients that go into making Coca-Cola are kept a tightly guarded secret, the usage of water is obvious and important. The company uses at least 0.71 gallons of water to produce just 0.26 gallons of Coke. When Coca-Cola decides to build bottling plants in areas that already lack a lot of water, this situation gets even worse. Many states in India, and several locations in Latin America like Mexico, are examples of areas that Coke has exploited. Naturally enough, when Coca-Cola builds a bottling facility, too much groundwater is consumed. As a result, there isn't enough water available for drinking or irrigating crops, which creates a food crisis in the area. India is already struggling to keep up with their resources due to the ever-growing population charts, and high-profile brands like Coke only exacerbate the scenario. Another political and controversial scenario that happened in the history of Coca-Cola was when a paramilitary member was murdered. A right-wing paramilitary group visited a Coca-Cola bottling facility in Carepa, Colombia, on December 5, 1986. Isidro Segundo Gil, a union executive at the plant, went to the team to find out what they wanted, until they opened fire on him, killing him. The paramilitary gang went to the union's headquarters later that evening, smashed the equipment there, and then set the building on fire to destroy all the information it contained. The paramilitary entered the bottling facility the following day and gave the unionized employees the option to leave or perish like Gil. Of course, many of the workers, who were making between $380 and $400 a month, left their positions. The paramilitary spent 2 months living at the bottling facility after they left. Sadly, after the paramilitary left the premises, new employees were hired with a package of just $130. Although there is no concrete proof that anyone at Coca-Cola's headquarters ordered any of the killings, detractors point out that the company did very little to look into the killings. They made no complaints to the government of Colombia either about the paramilitary's murder of their employees or their 2 months squatting in the building. Additionally, at the time of the murder, the union workers were attempting to bargain improved working conditions with the Coca-Cola hired bottling firm Bebidas y Alimentos for the rights to distribute its beverage across South America. Bebidas has not to engage in any negotiations with its employees in the years following the murder. But this is not it. The Coca-Cola Company has another shocking side business. Since you already know that there was some cocaine in the original Coca-Cola recipe, when they altered the recipe, they had some coca leaves imported into the U.S. from Peru by a business called Maywood Chemical Works, which is now known as the Stepan Company. Stepan, which continues to import coca plants for Coca-Cola, decoconizes the coca leaf extract once it arrives in the country by removing the alkaloid, which is the main ingredient in powdered cocaine. How does Stepan use the cocaine alkaloid? Well, it is sold for medical purposes under government oversight. Coca-Cola was one of the few American businesses that was permitted to import the coca plant for more than a century, thanks to special exclusions provided in drug regulations, including the Jones-Miller Act in 1922 and the Harrison's Narcotics Act of 1914. Stepan ran out of the cocaine alkaloid it extracted as Coca-Cola's popularity grew over time. Due to this, specific legislation was developed to allow Stepan to safely dispose of any extra cocaine alkaloid. The issue is that coca leaves can be used to make a variety of items other than Coca-Cola and cocaine, such as tea, candies, and flour. But due to the drug laws put in place to prevent cocaine from entering America, coca farmers in Peru, known as cocaleros, are only able to access the American market through Coca-Cola. The cocaleros have no choice but to comply with Coca-Cola's demand, as there is only one customer for their goods. The farmers continued to live in poverty as a result, and Coca-Cola made $41 billion in 2016. It is obvious that this multinational company is a professional at exploiting the needs of the poor and needy for their own benefits. But there are some stories and facts that are more funny than sad. Back in the 1960s, the company ran a series of advertisements across Central America that focused on native cultures and highlighted the health benefits of their beverage. This, along with the religious groups, helped integrate their product into the indigenous community's religious practices. There is still a church in Chiapas, Mexico, that claims to use Coke as a sacred beverage because it has magical characteristics. Coke has remained an important part of Central American culture for the past 50 years. Coca-Cola aired an advertisement in December 2015, showing a service organization made up of white people giving Coke to native Mexicans in Oaxaca. They are keen on brainwashing native people with the notion that drinking Coke is healthy. According to Mexico's National Survey of Health and Nutrition, diabetes was the country's biggest cause of death in 2006, which is almost ironic considering that Coke has a high concentration of sugar and is still promoting its product as healthy. Not so long ago, to tackle their sugary drink issue for the diabetic, the company came up with another byproduct. Coke Zero, a calorie-free soft drink with the same Coca-Cola flavor, was introduced by the business in 2005. The business bought Energy Brands Inc. and its assortment of enhanced waters in 2007. Coca-Cola made the announcement to join the Business Leaders Initiative on Human Rights, BLIHR, in the same year. This organization of businesses collaborates to create and carry out corporate responses to human rights issues that have an impact on business. Soon, many vloggers and netizens got vocal on social media about the new zero sugar drink. People claimed that this drink was merely a marketing campaign, and that it had more sugar and harmful elements than the regular Coke. But naturally, Coke is one of the largest existing brands, and it is almost impossible to bring it down merely on bad words. Let us know in the comments below about your thoughts on this dark side of Coke's history, and make sure you like, subscribe, and share.